I never thought I'd end up like this. Huddled on a creaky bed in a dingy apartment in the worst part of Chicago, the walls stained with years of neglect, the air thick with the smell of damp and cigarette smoke from the hallway. A flickering neon sign outside my window casting a sickly green glow, scrolling through my ex's Instagram while my life crumbles around me. My name's Sophie, I'm 27, and just a few months ago, I thought I had it all. A boyfriend I adored, a career as a graphic designer that I was passionate about, and a cozy little apartment in Lincoln Park, where I'd wake up to the sound of birds chirping and the smell of fresh coffee from the cafe downstairs. I'd spend my days sketching designs on my tablet, my nights cuddling with Nate, and my weekends dreaming about the life we'd build together, the love we'd share forever, the happiness I thought was mine. But I lost it all because of one stupid moment, one stupid notification, one stupid betrayal, and now Nate's gone, my career's in shambles, my friends have abandoned me, and I'm one unpaid bill away from being evicted, my fridge empty except for a wilted head of lettuce and a jar of expired pickles. I met Nate 2 years ago at a mutual friend's art gallery opening in Chicago, the kind of place with white walls, soft jazz, and people in black turtlenecks pretending they understand abstract paintings. I was 25, sipping a glass of cheap Chardonnay, my hair in a messy bun, my dress a thrifted floral number that made me feel artsy, my sketchbook tucked under my arm, my eyes scanning the room for inspiration. Nate was 26, a marketing guy with curly brown hair and a dimpled smile, the kind of smile that made my heart race, the kind of smile I wanted to draw, the kind of smile I wanted to keep. He approached me by a painting of a melting clock, his voice warm as he said, "This one's weird, huh? What do you think it means?" I laughed, my cheeks flushing, my words stumbling as I said, "Maybe it's about time slipping away, like life." He grinned, his eyes crinkling, his charm a magnet I couldn't resist, a magnet I didn't want to resist, a magnet I thought was mine. We started dating a week later, coffee dates in Wicker Park, his hand in mine as we'd walk through the farmer's market, the air smelling like fresh bread and flowers, his laugh a melody I couldn't get enough of. We spend evenings at my place, cooking pasta in my tiny kitchen, the pot bubbling, the garlic sizzling, his arms around me as I'd stir the sauce, his kisses soft on my neck, his love a warmth I thought would never fade. We'd sit on my couch, my legs over his lap, my sketchbook open as I'd draw him, his face a canvas I loved, his features a story I wanted to tell, his presence a dream I thought would last. We moved in together a year ago, my Lincoln Park apartment a cozy space with fairy lights strung across the ceiling, a easel in the corner, and a balcony where we'd sip wine, the city lights twinkling below, the air crisp, the life we'd built a masterpiece I thought would never crack. Nate had been planning our vacation for months, a week-long trip to Hawaii, a dream getaway he'd promised would be just what we need to recharge. His voice excited over the phone, his words a promise I believed, a promise I trusted, a promise I thought was true. I'd nod, my voice soft as I'd say, "I can't wait, babe, it's going to be perfect." My heart full, my trust full, my love full, my faith in him full. I'd spend my evenings after work designing a logo for a client, my tablet glowing, my stylus moving, my mind on Hawaii, my heart on Hawaii, my future on Hawaii. I'd pack my suitcase the night before, my hands folding sundresses, my fingers tucking in a bikini, my excitement bubbling as I'd imagine the beaches, the sunsets, the moments we'd share, the moments I thought were ours, the moments I thought were real. I'd started noticing things, little things, things I didn't want to see, things I didn't want to feel, things I didn't want to know. Nate's phone would light up late at night, his screen flashing with notifications he'd quickly silence, his excuses vague. "Just work stuff, babe." His tone casual, his eyes avoiding mine, his lies a whisper I ignored, a whisper I buried, a whisper I didn't hear. He'd come home smelling like perfume I didn't recognize, a floral scent with a hint of vanilla, a scent that wasn't mine, a scent that wasn't ours, a scent that wasn't right. I'd ask, my voice soft, my heart heavy, "How was your day?" And he'd shrug, his answer short, busy, his tone distant, his body distant, his love distant, his truth distant. I'd push down the unease in my chest, the quiet whisper in my mind, the doubt I didn't want to feel, the doubt I didn't want to hear, the doubt I didn't want to know, telling myself I was being paranoid, telling myself I was being silly, telling myself I was being wrong. The morning of our flight, I was a bundle of nerves and excitement, my hands shaky as I zipped up my suitcase, my hair in a messy ponytail, my sundress bright yellow, the kind of yellow that made me feel like sunshine, made me feel alive, made me feel loved. Nate was in the kitchen making coffee, the machine hissing, the smell of espresso filling the air, his voice cheerful as he called out, "Ready for paradise, Soph?" I smiled, my heart racing, my words a squeal as I said, "So ready." I grabbed my sketchbook, my pencils, my camera, my dreams of capturing every moment, every sunset, every smile, every piece of us, every piece of him, every piece of me. We drove to the airport, his hand on my thigh, the radio playing a pop song, the lyrics about love and forever, the kind of forever I thought we had, the kind of forever I thought was ours, the kind of forever I thought was real. We arrived in Hawaii after a long flight, the air warm and humid, the scent of salt and hibiscus hitting me as we stepped off the plane, my sundress sticking to my skin, my excitement a fire I couldn't contain, a fire I didn't want to contain, a fire I thought was ours. We checked into a beachfront resort on Maui, the kind of place with palm trees, infinity pools, and bungalows with thatched roofs, the ocean a shimmering blue, the sand a soft white, the paradise I'd dreamed of, the paradise I'd wanted, the paradise I'd deserved. We spent the first day exploring, snorkeling in the coral reefs, the water cool against my skin, the fish darting around us, their colors a rainbow I wanted to paint, their beauty a moment I wanted to keep. Nate held my hand underwater, his fingers tight around mine, his smile a promise I believed, a promise I trusted, a promise I thought was true. That night, we had dinner at a beachside restaurant, the kind of place with tiki torches, live ukulele music, and plates of fresh poke, the tuna melting in my mouth, the soy sauce sharp on my tongue, the sunset ablaze of orange and pink, the moment perfect, the moment ours, the moment I thought was real. I was sipping a Mai Tai, the rum sweet, the pineapple tangy, my laughter loud as Nate told a story about his coworker's bad Hawaiian shirt, his voice warm, his eyes on me, his love a warmth I thought would never fade. I reached for my camera to take a photo of the sunset, my hands sticky from the drink, my smile wide, my heart full, my life full, my love full, my everything full. Nate's phone was on the table, its screen dark, its presence innocent, its secrets hidden, its lies hidden, its betrayal hidden. And then it lit up, a notification, a name, a truth I couldn't unsee, a truth I couldn't unfeel, a truth I couldn't unknow. Ava 2 hearts, can't wait to see you tomorrow. The message read, the heart emoji a dagger, the words a dagger, the name a dagger, the betrayal a dagger. Ava, my Ava. My best friend Ava, the one I'd known since college, the one who'd been my maid of honor at my sister's wedding, the one who'd cried with me through breakups, the one who'd laughed with me through late-night study sessions, the one who'd been my rock, my confidant, my sister, my everything. My heart stopped, my breath caught in my throat, my mind a whirlwind of shock and disbelief. Nate, with Ava, not working, not away, not where he said he'd be, not where I thought he'd be, not where I trusted he'd be. And Ava, my best friend, the one I'd trusted, the one I'd loved, the one I'd shared everything with while she was with him, while she was taking him, while she was breaking me. I froze, my body still, my hands trembling, my eyes locked on the screen, my heart locked on the screen, my pain locked on the screen. I watched as another message popped up. "Miss you so much, babe." Her words a knife to my heart, a knife to my soul, a knife to my everything. I couldn't move, couldn't think, couldn't breathe, couldn't feel anything but the betrayal, the hurt, the loss, the emptiness I'd become. I grabbed the phone, my fingers shaking, my voice a scream as I shouted, "Nate, what the hell is this?" The music didn't stop, but the people around us did, their eyes on me, their whispers a hum I couldn't ignore, their judgment a weight I couldn't bear. He turned, his eyes wide, his face pale, his guilt written all over him, his lie written all over him, his betrayal written all over him. "Sophie?" he stammered, his hands reaching for the phone, his voice a mix of shock and fear, his eyes darting between me and the screen, his choice already made, his choice already hers, his choice already not mine. "Who is she, Nate?" I screamed, my voice cracking, my tears falling, my body trembling with rage, with hurt, with betrayal. "Ava, my best friend Ava. You're texting her while we're on vacation, while we're here, while we're us, while we're supposed to be us. You're telling her you miss her, you're calling her babe, you're planning to see her tomorrow, while I'm here, while I'm with you, while I'm loving you. The crowd gasped, their whispers louder, their eyes wide, their shock a mirror of mine, their judgment a weight I couldn't bear. Nate's face hardened, his voice cold as he said, I didn't want you to find out like this, Sophie. Ava and we've been together for 8 months. I love her. You're too needy, too clingy. I need someone who gives me space, who lets me breathe. His words were a slap, a sting, a wound I couldn't heal, a wound I'd carry, a wound I'd bleed from. 8 months, 8 months of lies. 8 months of betrayal. 8 months of me loving him, trusting him, believing him, while he was with her, with her, with her. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, couldn't move, couldn't feel anything but the pain, the betrayal, the loss, the emptiness I'd become. How could you do this to me, Nate? I screamed, my voice raw, my chest heaving, my tears soaking my face, my hands clenched into fists, my nails digging into my palms, my heart breaking, my life breaking, my everything breaking. I trusted you. I loved you. I gave you everything. I gave you me, I gave you us, I gave you my heart, and you gave it to her, you gave it to her, you gave it to her. And Ava, my best friend. I told her everything, I shared everything, I loved her, and she did this to me, she did this to me, she did this to me. You let me believe, you let me hope, you let me love, and it was all a lie, it was all a lie, it was all a lie. He didn't say anything, his movements cold, his silence colder, his decision final. I'm sorry, Sophie, he said, his voice flat, his eyes avoiding mine, his words a hollow apology, a hollow end, a hollow void. I'm leaving tomorrow to be with her. We're done. He stood up, his chair scraping against the wooden floor, his steps heavy as he walked away, the crowd parting for him, their whispers a roar in my ears, their pity a weight on my shoulders, their judgment a wound I couldn't heal. I fell to my knees, my sobs loud, my hands clutching my chest, my tears soaking the floor, my voice a broken whisper as I choked out. How could you do this to me, Nate? I loved you, I trusted you, I believed you, and you broke me, you broke me, you broke me. A waiter rushed to my side, his voice soft. Ma'am, are you okay? His kindness a lifeline I couldn't grasp, a lifeline I didn't want, a lifeline I didn't deserve. I shook my head, my body trembling, my world shattered, my paradise shattered, my everything shattered. Nate left the next morning, his suitcase gone from the bungalow, his side of the bed empty, his presence a ghost I couldn't touch, a ghost I couldn't hold, a ghost I couldn't keep. I stood in the doorway, my hands trembling, staring at the empty space where his flip-flops used to be, the space where his sunglasses used to sit, the space where he used to be, the space where we used to be, the space where I used to be. The bungalow felt wrong without him, the balcony where we'd watched the sunrise, the bed where we'd cuddled, the beach where we'd walked hand in hand, all of it hollow, all of it cold, all of it a reminder of what I'd lost, what I'd been betrayed out of, what I'd never have again. I found a note on the dresser, his handwriting sharp, his words cruel. I'm happier with Ava, don't follow me. His goodbye a final blow, a final cut, a final end. Next to the note was a photo of us from our first date, torn in half, my face crumpled. His half missing, our love missing, our life missing, our everything missing. I flew back to Chicago alone, the plane ride a blur of tears and turbulence. My sundress wrinkled, my eyes red, my heart heavy, my sketchbook untouched, my dreams untouched, my life untouched. My clients started canceling projects, the video of my meltdown at the restaurant going viral, their emails harsh, their words a slap in the face. I can't work with someone so unstable, Sophie. One client wrote, her tone cold, her rejection a wound I couldn't heal, a wound I'd carry, a wound I'd bleed from. I'd show up to my freelance gigs, my hands shaky, my focus gone, my laptop screen blurry through my tears, my designs uninspired, my creativity gone, my passion gone, my purpose gone. I'm sorry, Sophie, but we're getting complaints, my biggest client said, her voice firm, her email formal, her decision made, her words a final blow to the career I'd had, the career I'd lost, the career I'd ruined. We have to let you go. Without clients, I couldn't afford the apartment. I'd already been late on rent, and Nate wasn't there to help anymore, wasn't there to split the bills, wasn't there to pick up the slack, wasn't there to keep me afloat, wasn't there to keep me from drowning, wasn't there to keep me from falling, wasn't there to keep me from crumbling. The landlord gave me a week to move out, his voice harsh over the phone, his words final. "You're out, Sophie. I can't keep waiting for you to pay. I can't keep dealing with this. I can't keep giving you chances." I spent that week packing what I could into a duffel bag, leaving behind the life I'd built with Nate, the memories we'd made, the dreams we'd shared, the fairy lights we'd strung up, the easel we'd bought together, the photos we'd taken on the balcony, the life we'd lived, the love I thought we'd had, the future I thought we'd planned. I moved into a dingy apartment in a rough part of Chicago, the kind of place with stained walls, a bed that creaked with every move, and a neon sign outside that buzzed all night. The kind of place where the air smelled like damp and cigarette smoke, the roaches skittered across the floor. The sink dripped endlessly. The kind of place I never thought I'd end up. The kind of place that felt like a prison, the kind of place that felt like the end. My new neighbors were a constant reminder of my fall. A woman downstairs who shouted at her boyfriend every night, her voice echoing through the thin walls, her words a mirror of my own pain, my own loss, my own void. The hallway smelled like mildew, the carpet stained with years of neglect, the flickering light buzzing above, a sound that kept me awake at night, a sound that haunted my dreams, a sound that reminded me of everything I'd lost. I'd sit on the creaky bed, my knees pulled to my chest, my hands wrapped around a chipped mug of cold tea, the leaves stuck to the bottom, the taste bitter on my tongue, the warmth gone, the comfort gone, the hope gone. I'd stare at the walls, the stains spreading like ink blots, the cracks snaking across the ceiling, the kind of cracks that felt like my heart, my soul, my everything. I'd find myself tracing the cracks with my eyes, my fingers itching to touch them, to feel them, to break myself, to break everything. The way I'd been broken, the way I'd been shattered, the way I'd been destroyed. Meanwhile, Nate and Ava were thriving, their lives a stark contrast to mine, their happiness a knife to my heart. I'd see their posts online. Nate had gotten a promotion at his marketing agency, and Ava was by his side at every company event. I found their Instagram profiles late at night, scrolling through their updates at 3 a.m., my tears blurring the cracked screen of my phone as I clicked on their photos. They moved into a loft in downtown Chicago, the kind of place with exposed brick walls and floor-to-ceiling windows, the kind of place we'd dreamed of living in together, the kind of place I'd never see, the kind of place I'd never deserve. I saw pictures of them at rooftop bars, his arm around her head on his shoulder, her smile brighter than anything I'd ever given him, brighter than anything I'd ever been, brighter than anything I'd ever be. I saw a photo of her at an art gallery, her dress a deep red, her caption a taunt, celebrating with my love. Her words a reminder of the betrayal, the lie, the void she'd made me. The worst part, I found out my other friends knew about Nate and Ava. My friend Claire, who I thought was my ally, had commented on one of Ava's posts, a photo of her and Nate on a yacht, captioned "New Chapter." Claire had known, and she hadn't told me, hadn't warned me, hadn't cared enough to let me know I was being betrayed, being replaced, being erased. I texted her, my fingers shaking, my words a mess of anger and hurt. "You knew about Nate and Ava, and you didn't tell me. You let me think he was mine?" She replied hours later, her message cold, her words a slap in the face. "Nate told us months ago, Sophie. We didn't want to hurt you, but honestly, you were too clingy for him. He's happier with Ava, move on." Her words cut deeper than anything Nate had said, deeper than anything Ava had done, deeper than anything I'd felt, deeper than anything I'd ever known. I'd sit in my dingy apartment, the neon sign flickering outside, the sound of the city a distant hum, the roaches skittering across the floor, the smell of cigarette smoke filling the air, the weight of my loneliness pressing down on me, the weight of my betrayal crushing me, the weight of my failure shattering me. I'd scroll through Nate and Ava's posts, my tears smudging the cracked glass of my phone, my heart crumbling with every photo, every caption, every reminder of what I'd lost, what I'd been cheated out of, what I'd never have again, what I'd never deserve again, what I'd never be again. I'd look at myself in the smudged mirror, my eyes hollow, my hair a mess, my face pale, my skin dry, my lips chapped, my body tired, my spirit broken, my dreams gone, and barely recognize the girl staring back at me. A girl who used to laugh, who used to love, who used to have it all. A girl who'd been deceived. A girl who'd been replaced. a girl who'd lost it all. I've been in this dingy dump for a month now, and every day feels worse than the last. Every day a reminder of what I've lost. Every day a reminder of what I've become. Every day a reminder of the treachery that shattered me. I'm sitting on the creaky bed, my back against the wall, my phone in my hand, staring at Nate's latest post. Him and Ava at a marketing gala, her dress sparkling, her smile wide, his arm around her. Their happiness a taunt, their love a taunt, their life a taunt, their dreams a taunt. They're everything I'll never have, they're everything I'll never touch, they're everything I'll never be a part of, they're everything I'll never deserve. My stomach twists, my eyes burn, and I can't stop the tears from falling, can't stop the anger from rising, can't stop the pain from consuming me, can't stop the deception from defining me. I keep thinking about that night, the restaurant, the night I saw her name on his lock screen, the night I found out about Ava, the night Nate walked away, the night he destroyed me. I can still see the phone on the table, the notification glowing, her name a truth I couldn't unsee, her words a truth I couldn't unfeel, her betrayal a truth I couldn't unknow. I can still see Ava in my mind, my best friend, her laugh a memory, her hugs a memory, her love a memory, her betrayal a dagger, her everything a dagger. I can still hear Nate's words, "You're too clingy, I need someone who lets me breathe." The way they sliced through me, the way they crushed me, the way they made me feel like a void, like I'd never be enough, like I'd never be her, like I'd never be Ava, like I'd never be anyone. I can still see the way he left, the way he didn't even look at me, the way he didn't even care that he'd been lying to me, that he'd been betraying me, that he'd been breaking me, that he'd been replacing me, that he'd been erasing me, that he'd been destroying me. And Ava, whoever she is now, this perfect girl with her perfect dress and her perfect life. She knew about me, knew I was his girlfriend, knew I was loving him, knew I was trusting him, and she didn't care, didn't stop, didn't think about me, didn't think about my pain, didn't think about my loss, didn't think about the emptiness she was making me. She was my best friend, my sister, my everything, and she smiled at me, laughed with me, loved me, all while she was with him, all while she was taking him, all while she was breaking me, all while she was destroying me. She stood there in my memories, in my heart, in my life, taking him, taking my life, taking my love, taking my dreams, and left me a hollow shell, left me to hurt, left me to crumble, left me to fall, left me to lose, left me to be this empty void. And my friends, Claire, the one I thought would always be there, the one I thought would always have my back, she knew about them, knew about their affair, knew about their love, and she didn't tell me, didn't warn me, didn't care enough to save me from the betrayal, from the pain, from the loss, from the void I've become. She commented on their stupid posts, cheered for their stupid love, smiled at their stupid life, while I was here, falling apart, breaking apart, losing it all, losing myself, losing me. But instead of looking at myself, instead of seeing what I did wrong, I point the finger at them, at Nate, at Ava, at Claire, at everyone who let me down, who deceived me, who destroyed me. If Nate hadn't cheated on me, I wouldn't be here. I mutter, my voice low, my eyes fixed on the flickering neon sign, my hands clenched into fists, my nails digging into my palms, my tears falling onto the bed, my heart racing, my mind spinning, my soul crumbling. He should have been honest, should have told me, should have cared enough to stay with me, to love me, to choose me, not her, not Ava, not someone else, not anyone else. He should have been mine, should have wanted me, should have needed me, should have loved me, not her, not her, not her. And Ava, she knew I was his girlfriend, knew I was his life, and she took him anyway, took my life anyway, took my love anyway, took my dreams anyway, left me with nothing, left me with nothing, left me with nothing. She was my best friend, my sister, my everything, and she smiled at me, lied to me, all while she was with him, all while she was breaking me, all while she was destroying me. She stood there in my life watching me break, and she didn't care, didn't stop, didn't feel a thing, didn't feel me. And Claire, she was supposed to be my friend, supposed to tell me, supposed to protect me, not stab me in the back, not cheer for my deception, not cheer for my replacement, not cheer for my loss. They all deceived me, Nate, Ava, Claire, everyone. They're the reason I'm here, not me, not my actions, not my choices. I know I'm wrong, deep down, but I can't admit it, can't face it, can't let myself see the truth. That I was too trusting, that I ignored the signs, that I let myself be too much, that I let myself be clingy, that I let myself be needy, that I ruined my own life by not seeing the truth, by not seeing the lie, by not seeing the void I was becoming. Instead, I decide to fight back, to make Nate and Ava feel the pain I'm feeling, to make them see what they've done to me, to make them pay for deceiving me. I open my phone, my hands shaking, my battery at 1%, my screen cracked, my fingers trembling, my heart racing, my mind buzzing, and start typing a post for Instagram, my words sharp, my tone desperate, my plan a last-ditch effort to ruin them. I saw her name on his lock screen. While we were on vacation, I write, my fingers flying across the screen, my anger pouring out, my pain pouring out, my hurt pouring out, my deception pouring out. Nate was cheating on me with Ava, my best friend, for 8 months, lying to me, betraying me, breaking me, replacing me, destroying me. She was my sister, my everything, and she smiled at me, laughed with me, all while she was with him, all while she was taking him, all while she was breaking me. I have proof, messages, photos, everything. I'm going to post them, to share them, to spread them, to make sure everyone knows what he did, to make sure everyone knows who he really is, to make sure everyone knows how he hurt me, how he shattered me, how he deceived me. I'm going to send the screenshots to his marketing agency, to his boss, to his clients, to everyone who thinks he's a success, to everyone who doesn't know the truth, to everyone who doesn't know what he did, to everyone who doesn't know how he broke me. I'm going to ruin his life like he ruined mine. I'm going to ruin his reputation like he ruined my heart. I'm going to ruin his everything like he ruined mine. I'm going to ruin his nothing like he made me nothing. I hit post, my heart racing, my mind buzzing with a mix of hope and rage, thinking maybe this will work, maybe he'll hurt, maybe he'll feel what I feel, maybe he'll see what he's done. Maybe he'll regret it, maybe he'll apologize, maybe he'll fix it, maybe he'll fix me, maybe he'll make it right, maybe he'll make me something, maybe he'll make me again. But deep down, I know it won't change anything. No, I've lost him for good. No, I have no one to blame but myself. No one to hurt but myself. No one to shatter but myself. No one to be but this empty shell, this void I've become. I set my phone down, my tears falling onto the cracked screen, and stare at the wall, the neon sign flickering outside, the sound of the city a distant hum, the roaches skittering across the floor, the smell of cigarette smoke filling the air, the weight of my loneliness pressing down, the weight of my betrayal crushing me, the weight of my failure shattering me, and wonder if I'll ever find a way out of this mess, wonder if I'll ever learn, wonder if I'll ever change, or if I'm doomed to keep making the same mistakes. Over and over, until there's nothing left to lose, until there's nothing left to shatter, until there's nothing left to hurt, until there's nothing left to feel, until there's nothing left to be.